Aviwe.
Good afternoon, Bradan, and we're getting checking what people are saying on the ground, following, of course, Cyril Ramaphosa re-emerging as the president of the African National Congress. A much bigger margin, of course, than the last time we were here 5 years ago, 2017, when he was contested by Nkosazana Zuma. But of course, we do know at that stage he was supported by the alliances, Cosatu being one of them. Now, ahead of this conference, we remember Cosatu didn't give support to any of the possible candidates that would take up leadership in the African National Congress. Now, I want to get reaction from Zingi Swalosi, the president of Cosatu. So, Swam, thank you for joining us at eNCA. First, your reaction to the top 7 that's been announced here.
Thank you very much. We are delighted by the outcomes of this conference. I think branches spoke, and branches did not align themselves to any factions or any slates. The leadership that came through is the leadership that represents the African National Congress. I must highlight, for the first time in the ANC, we have 3 women on top, which I think the delegates have understood what the ANC have always been discussing, of the ANC rising to the occasion of getting women into the leadership of the ANC and finding gender parity. And we understand if maybe we had 6 positions, we may have had the 3-3, but because the positions are 7, but we are very, very, very grateful for the huge step that this conference has taken to ensure that women are in the top leadership of the African National Congress, not 1, but this time 3.
What of the actual leadership under then Cyril Ramaphosa? Given that in the last 5 years you weren't happy at all of the treatment of the workers, hence you didn't even support anyone or any candidate. Let's first reflect on the leadership in the last 5 years and what you hope now this leadership will bring.
Look, it has been a difficult past 5 years, we must admit. Also with the state of the ANC itself in the past 5 years has posed a number of challenges, because we had the suspension of the former SG of the ANC, and then you had an SGO that was really struggling, and then the illness that came of our late DSG, and then her passing, may her soul rest in peace. So then you had the TG coming in, acting, and I think just on the level of the Alliance Secretariat, it has been very, very difficult. We are hopeful now that the message that we delivered here yesterday, when we were congratulating the newly elected leadership and officials of the ANC, they said, "We heard you, Cosatu." And we are hopeful that we soon will be having the first alliance bilateral and the first alliance meeting of all alliance partners for us to really make an honest and reflection of where we are coming from. We have been speaking about the reconfiguration of the alliance, and it was mentioned here the importance of that alliance being reconfigured. But everything is not going to happen because we say it. It is going to happen because we act on what we say. So it is still an alliance, a relationship that must now be worked on, that we have the same demands that we had as Cosatu. Nothing has changed. It is now upon to this leadership to renew itself, meaning the ANC, to renew the branches, but most importantly, to understand that their election is not just for the membership of the ANC, it is for the people of South Africa. For people of South Africa to be able to elect the ANC in 2024, they need to see that renewal emerging from this conference moving forward.
Talking about the people of South Africa, you're not happy as a trade union. You just went on a national shutdown months ago. You're unhappy about the 3% wage bill. In fact, that's in place now, the wage increase. What do you think will change? Do you think much will change?
Look, we will continue to engage. Public sector workers are engaging at the level of the PSCPC with the employer. We will also continue to engage at the level of a political engagement with the African National Congress. You also have workers in the private sector. Unemployment is sitting at 43%, which is huge. People of this country are highly indebted, unemployed. The youth unemployment rate surpasses 60%. And you are talking about people who have no understanding of what the future holds because of the load shedding, the state of our economy, the just energy transition that is on the cards, whether how many jobs will be made or lost in that process. So we have a number of engagements on issues that we want to put at the table of this leadership of the ANC. That's why we said as the Federation that it is not about what we say, but about what we do. We said here yesterday, slogans are not going to deliver people out of poverty. It is going to be action, and a conscious action that must be taken by the leadership of the alliance, in particular the African National Congress, to the voters of South Africa.
All right, Zingiswa Losi, the president of Cosatu. I want to quickly rope in now leadership from the African National Congress in the Eastern Cape. Princess Faku, your reaction as the Eastern Cape to the top 7 that's been announced here.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon and to your listeners. As the Eastern Cape, we are very happy. You know that the region that I'm leading, which is Dr. W.B. Khubusane, elected 3 women, and we're happy to see again that in the ANC there are 3 women in the officials, which really shows that the ANC is renewing itself. We're happy with the outcomes. We're more happy that, as you know, that as the Eastern Cape, we nominated President Ramaphosa. We were one province that nominated, gave him the most nominations. We're very happy with the outcomes of the conference. No faction has won, but the ANC has won today.
But let's talk then about some of your nominations. We know that for Deputy President, for example, you wanted your chair in the province, Oscar Mabuyane, to be in the helm. Now that he's not there, how are you feeling about that?
As the Eastern Cape, we're very firm and we are supported by many provinces. We got about 1,800 votes for Comrade Oscar Mabuyane. He did not make it now. He's still young. He's in his late 40s. In the next national conference, he will come and contest again as the Eastern Cape. We will put his name forward. But we want to congratulate Comrade Paul Mashatile, our former TG, to say to him that as the Eastern Cape, we're fully behind him.
Has Oscar Mabuyane indicated where to from here?
He will remain the chairperson of the province. If you remember that now he's the current chair and the premier of the province. During his time, we are receiving now clean audits in the province. We must make sure that the projects that we have for the province, making sure unemployment and skills in the province and our people have a better life in the province. So he must go back to the province and we work harder to strengthen the ANC. You know that the ANC, the home of the Eastern Cape, is the home of the ANC.
And then when you look at this top 7 leadership, one, what would you like as the Eastern Cape that it takes care of in terms of its governance? And I know you mentioned the issue of gender parity, which seems to have been catered for.
We want the top 7 to make sure that the Eastern Cape or the African National Congress is united, that the emancipation of women must be one of their key priorities. The generational mix issues must be part of their agenda. But most importantly, we want to see the ANC renewed. Those that did not make it now, they must make sure that they bring those comrades together and the ANC becomes one.
All right, thank you very much. Princess Faku, the chair of the BW Khubusane region in the Eastern Cape, of course, one of those 3 women that are in leadership in the top 5 of that region. She is, well, glad that at least 3 women have emerged in the top 7 of the African National Congress. We do know now that Maseko, the voting for the additionals will now soon commence. That is, of course, the top 80 that will form part of the highest decision-making body of the party in between conferences. So they will be at the helm, together with the top 7 that was recently announced here for the next 5 years. In fact, looking at issues such as a lot of what has been deferred to the ANC leadership. In fact, I'm seeing Oscar Mabuyane here, the chair of the Eastern Cape. I'm going to bring him in. Mdomkulu, first your reaction. The people that you have been campaigning for, Cyril Ramaphosa has emerged, but of course, you're not in that helm of deputy presidency. I need to get your reaction on that.
Problem was not a priority. The priority names are there. That's what we believed in. We wanted continuity and wanted stability in the ANC, not only for ANC members but for the country. We're quite happy that his election has strengthened the rand. Now we are seeing a direction, and South Africans are beginning to normalize, and people have been going through serious palpitations, not knowing what is going to come out of this. So we're quite happy with the leadership. We congratulate the leadership. We are going to support the leadership. We're going to be available. We are going to dedicate ourselves, put our energy. We are patriots. We're here to build ANC. We're here to make sure that the leadership elected is going to be unwavering on the renewal agenda. We don't want leadership that will be prevaricating around the issues of the renewal. For us to arrest all funny, wrong foreign tendencies in the ANC, we've got to implement renewal of the ANC religiously. And the renewal is about cleansing the ANC. When you come to ANC, you must know that you have joined ANC. ANC has not joined you. So the perspective in the Eastern Cape, our interest on all policy formulation, policy proposals that we're bringing here was that we must get a sort of a collective that will respond appropriately to that. So we're developing a program of action. We are marching with speed. We said we wanted to actually build a capable, a very agile and ethical state. For you to do that as a governing party, you must start here first in the ANC. So we're working for that. The outcome here confirms that.
And the outcome does not include you as Deputy President. Do you believe that there could have been anything else that you could have done differently? Were you engaged in Ronald Lamola, for example, on what could have happened?
Definitely, yes. If I would have campaigned. I've never campaigned. I was nominated by branches without campaigning. I got in there. Also coming from a point of being a provincial leader, you are disadvantaged compared to the national leaders that are moving all provinces campaigning for themselves, whether they are addressing cadres for us. So I only came here as Oscar Mabuyane supported. For me to get 1,800 votes is huge. I'm so humbled by branches who voted for me, by branches who nominated me. They see in him that there's a potential. I would have contributed to the collective here. Yes, those who are elected, we are going to support and work with them. It is as simple as like that.
And where to from here then for Oscar Mabuyane?
Back to Bishop, back to Eastern Cape, Kalata House. I'm the chairperson of the province. I was elected in May. I continue with that. I will come back here as an NEC member. I'm just waiting now for those who will be elected here. I won't be contesting here because I'm already in the NEC. So you can ask that question from people like this one who are now contestants here. So I came here knowing very well that I've got nothing to lose, but as a patriot, as a volunteer in the ANC, I committed myself that I would want to contribute. If branches felt like I can contribute much better at a national level, that's a dream delayed. We're still coming.
Okay, just lastly, maybe the key issues that this current leadership needs to tackle.
The organizational report talks about that. Talks about issues that ANC is going through. Challenges of existential crisis and all that. So ANC knows very well. We had our diagnostic report in 2017. Those issues that were raised there are still relevant today. We continue confronting them. So the renewal that we're doing, it's a sort of a panacea to all these malfeasance and foreign tendencies that ANC is grappling with. And I can tell you, if we implement that renewal religiously, with all comrades who are willing to volunteer, the likes of former President Mbeki and so on, because everyone feeling so bad, this is really, really not good to see the continuous reputational damage of the ANC, the trust deficit. The ANC belongs to South Africans. It doesn't belong to members or to us. It was formed to solve problems but continue with transformation of this country.
All right, thank you very much. The Premier and chairperson of the Eastern Cape, the African National Congress there, Oscar Mabuyane. You remember he was contesting the position of being deputy president of the African National Congress. Wasn't successful, but it was by more than around 300 votes that Paul Mashatile, who is the deputy president of the ANC, then won that. We know Oscar got some 1,800 plus votes there, but of course Ronald Lamola also getting some 300 plus votes. Two of them not successful, but of course Paul Mashatile now being part of the top 7 that is to lead the African National Congress in the next 5 years.